Ohio. Palanga, the resort in the western part of Lithuania, in Žemaitija, is located on the bank of the Baltic Sea. Administratively has the status of self-government. In 1995-2010 the city was a part of nowadays abolished Klaipėda County. Palanga, the city in the west of Lithuania, is located along the coast of the Baltic Sea and occupies 25 km of the coast, including the settlement of Šventoji attached to Palanga in 1973. Its distance of 27 km to the north from Klaipėda and 331 km to the northwest from Vilnius, in 19 km to the south from border with Latvia. The national etymology outputs the name Palanga under a window. In fact, as the linguist Kazimieras Būga believed, the name of the city probably has Kėršė origin. The suffix "in" is especially characteristic of Kėršė place names. Palanga can come from the Baltsky root designating the Low Fenny place. Till 1917 the settlement officially was called Palangan. The municipal coat of arms was developed with a careful eye to a legend. The azure field symbolizes the Baltic Sea, the amber necklace reminds of ancient art, and a silver crown the sea goddess Jurate. The coat of arms according to Grazina Ushkinit's sketch was approved on September 3, 1996. The territory of Palanga was populated long since. She is located on the ancient Amber Way and was one of the centers of trade and crafts. The name Palanga is for the first time mentioned in historical documents in 1161 when the King of Denmark Valdemar I landed with the army there. Date of the basis. The mention of this settlement in Chronicles of the Livonian Award in 1253 is considered. According to the legend, in Palanga there lived Biruta, Birutlitis, a Vedalatka priestess, who was taken in the wife by Gedimin Kęstutis son. Biruta became mother of the Grand Duke Lithuanian Vitovt. Between the 13th-15th centuries residents of Palanga resisted to Teutonic Knights in the south and to the Livonian Award in the north. As a result, the German Knights couldn't occupy the Lithuanian coast. In 1422 under the Melnsky Contract Palanga departed to Grand Duchy of Lithuania. In the 15th-17th centuries Palanga was the most important port of Lithuania. Major activities of the population were collecting amber, fishery and trade. By sea from Palanga and next Šventoji took out amber, honey, wax. During Northern War in 1701 the Swedish army destroyed Palanga and port constructions in Šventoji. In 1795, after the third section of the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, Palanga was a part of the Russian Empire. In 1819 Palanga was transferred from the Wileński province to structure of the Kurland province. In the administrative relation Palanga became the town of the Grabinski county of the Kurland province. During the revolt of 1830-1831 near Palanga the Lithuanian insurgents led by Onufrij Jacevich got beaten by the Russian troops. In 1824 Palanga was bought by family of Counts Tyszkiewicz. Tyszkiewicz made many investments in development of Palanga as sea resort. So, in 1877-1880 on money Tyszkiewicz the first hotel and restaurant are constructed. In Palanga there was the first theatre, and on the beach cabins for bathing are equipped. In 1886 the Pro-Gymnasium opened here. In 1884-1888 the pier with a long pier is constructed, and in next Lithuania in 1891 the School of Navigation is open. In 1893-1897 at the Count Felix Tishvevich in the southern part of the town the palace surrounded with the formal garden was built. The architect Edouard François André. In the first half of the 20th century in Palanga the large clinic focused on people with diseases of the musculoskeletal device opened. In 1907 the Palanga church accepted the first parishioners. After the ban of the Lithuanian press in 1864 the city became the important center of illegal import of the Lithuanian books from abroad. In 1899 in Palanga the first public Lithuanian performance, America in a Ban, was put. 1877. Of counts restored after the fire Palanga Tishkevici. On March 23, 1915 Palanga is occupied by the German troops. From 1919 to 1921 I was a part of the Republic of Latvia. Then between independent Lithuania and Latvia the dispute on ownership of Palanga and Šventoji resolved by the International Arbitration Commission erupted, and on March 21, 1921 these territories were transferred to Lithuania. On March 31, 1921 the Latvian troops left Palanga. In 1933 Palanga received the status of the city. In the 1930th years on the lands bought at Tishvevici a number of rich country houses is constructed. Palanga became the informal capital of Lithuania during the summer period. To the resort there came ministers and presidents of the Republic. The city was the favorite vacation spot of the Lithuanian intellectuals. The resort suffered from the devastating fire on May 10, 1938 which destroyed about 300 constructions, including about 120 houses. On June 22, 1941 Palanga is occupied by the German troops. On October 10, 1944 the city is freed by the Red Army. In the Soviet years the resort considerably extended. On the basis of the nationalized country houses holiday houses were organized and also several new holiday houses are constructed. In 1963 the airfield is open. Palanga became one of the largest Soviet resorts. To Russian poets, Yosef Brodsky and Robert Rozdestvenski, devoted to this city the poems written in the 1960th years. Since 1991 as a part of the independent Republic of Lithuania. In 1992 the Russian troops are disengaged from Palanga. Improvement of the resort continued. Work of an old gymnasium was resumed. In 1999 the Museum of the Lithuanian artist and sculptor Antanas Mončis is open. Extensive damage caused to the city the Hurricane Anatoly, which blew over the coast of Lithuania in 1999. The well-known Palanga pier which had to be reconstructed was destroyed. They located between a pier and the central Vytauto Street. Once quiet and shady Basanavičius Street became the pedestrian, Palanga Broadway, the center of restaurants, cafe and noisy entertainments. The decision of the Special Commission of the Ministry of Culture of Lithuania Palanga is chosen as the cultural capital of the country for 2013. The climate soft sea is very changeable, with warm summer and rather soft and low snow winter. The warmest season in July and August when air temperature reaches +25°C and above, and water's +20°C. These months practically all sunny days, however often happen short thunderstorms. In 1867 14 people lived in Palanga and there were 164 houses. In 1897 the number of inhabitants reached 2419 people. In 2001 in Palanga there were 17.6 thousand inhabitants. 8.1 thousand men and 9.6 thousand women lived in the city. Average population density -223 persons on 1 square kilometer. In 2011 the population of Palanga was 15732 man. National structure according to a census of 2011. 14839. 94. 32%. Lithuanians 433. 2.75%. Russians 152. 0.97%. Latvians 96. 0.61%. Ukrainians 39. 0.25%. Belarusians 33. 0.21%. Poles 140. 0.89%. Other. Transport. In 7 km to the north from the downtown there is an international airport of Palanga. There is an air traffic with the cities of Warsaw, Copenhagen, Minsk, Riga, Oslo. Intercity buses go from Palanga to various cities, such as Klaipėda, Kaunas, Vilnius. Public transport connects Palanga, Šventoji and Nemerseta. A highway connects Palanga to Klaipėda. The city is connected by highways with Vilnius and Kaunas. To the east from Palanga, approximately in 11 km the city of Kretinga is Highway A. In 2015 the new bus station is open. The nearest railway stations in Klaipėda and Kretinga. Much attention is paid to development of bicycle transport. Between Palanga, Šventoji and Klaipėda the bicycle path is laid. Economy. The basis of the economy of the city is tourism. Service of vacationers and a recreation. Over 70 hotels and guest houses operate on the resort. No hotels of the city can receive at the same time 15,000 guests. Also considerable part of visitors is placed in private houses where the prices are one accommodation lower. In 2017 in Palanga more than 307,000 city visitors stopped for the night. Sport. The Kuršiai BB Basketball Club represents the city in the championship of National Basketball League. Nkenko. FE Palanga, the Lithuanian football club from Palanga. Football Stadium of Palanga. Media. Evening Palanga newspaper. Palangski Pers newspaper. Musical and entertaining radio station Hot FM. Since 2002. Sites. Concert Hall of Palanga. Piers going to the sea on 480 m, one of symbols of Palanga. It is built in 1884-1888, reconstructed in 1998. The Church of Rise of Virgin Mary constructed in Neo-Gothic style in 1907. The highest building of Palanga. 76 m. Since 2018, the observation deck on a church tower is open. The Palanga Museum of Amber is located in the palace in the center of the Botanical Park. Birut Park and Botanical Garden. Pedestrian Yona Basanovica Street. The Museum of the Resort of Palanga is located in an old country house in Annapolis. 1898. Birut's Avenue 34A. Ancient Drugstore of Palanga. 1827. Vitoto Street. 33. The Museum of the Link and Resistance devoted to repressions during finding of Lithuania as a part of the USSR. Y. Basanovica Street. 21. Church for the sake of an icon of the Mother of God Iverskaya. 2001. Address: Sodu Street. 52. Memorial Estate of the Dr. Jonas Schliepers. 1861-1944. Famous public figure, first Burgomaster of Palanga. Vitoto Street. 23A. House Museum of the Artist and Sculptor Antanas Monchis. Docanto Street. 16. The Seaside Regional Park is located between Palanga and Klaipėda. It is founded in 1992. Palanga Concert Hall. It is open in 2015. Musical Fountain. Crossing of Streets of Curate and Vitotis. Museum of Amber and Botanical Park. The Museum of Amber, located in the former Tiškevičiai Palace, was opened in 1963 and contains about 4,500 exhibits. Near the palace, the sculpture, the Blessing Christ, is located. Brought from France at the beginning of the 20th century, the sculpture was destroyed in Soviet period. In 1993, on the former place established her copy of work of Stasis Dragoulis. The Palanga Botanical Park. 1897. Was planned by the famous French landscape architect and the botanist Édouard François André, who together with the son spent 3 summers in Palanga, working on creation of the park. The park contains about 300 plant species. Among sites of the park there is a sculptural composition, Egil, the Queen of Ears. 1960, the sculptor Roberto Santini Sr. His plot is based on the Lithuanian fairy tale of the same name. In the territory of the park there is a Mount Birut connected with a romantic story of the Vestal who became the wife of the Grand Duke Lithuanian Kęstutis. At top of the mountain the chapel. 1869, the architect K. Mayoris, with stained glass windows, is located. 1976, the author 50. Hosius. At the foot of the mountain the sculpture Chuyu Biruta. 1965, the sculptor K. Tulin. And also Lords, the grotto with Virgin Mary's statue created by the Count Tiškevič at the request of his wife is established. Famous inhabitants and natives. Biruta. 1317-1382. Is the wife of the Lithuanian Prince Kęstutis, mother of the Grand Duke Lithuanian Vytautas. Jonas Schliepers. 1861-1944. The Doctor of Medical Sciences, the Lithuanian political figure and the first Burgomaster of Palanga. Julius Brutzkus, 1870–1951. Is the Lithuanian historian, the scientist and the politician. Vladas Jurgutis, 1885–1966. Is the Lithuanian priest, the economist and professor. Bolis Dvarionis, 1904–1972. Is the Lithuanian composer. In 1953–1972 I spent summer in Palanga. It is buried at the Palanga cemetery. Jonas Žemaitis Vytautas, 1909–1954. Is a general, the head of anti-Soviet resistance of Lithuania. It was officially recognized as one of presidents of Lithuania later. Alfredas Tiškevičius, 1913–2008. Is a Count, the honorable citizen of Palanga, is buried at the Palanga cemetery. Ramath Gitboard. I was born. 1931. Lithuanian poetess, playwright. Liudvikas Narcisas Razimovičius. Sword. 1938. Lithuanian politician. In 1990 were among those someone signed the Act of Restoration of the independent Lithuanian state. Laimonas Tapinas. I was born. 1944. Lithuanian writer, journalist and critic. Stasys Povilaitis, 1947–2015. Is the Lithuanian crooner and the poet. It is buried at the Palanga cemetery. Edmundas Benetis. I was born. 1953. Lithuanian architect. Raimundas Pilaitis. I was born. 1957. The Lithuanian politician, the Minister of Internal Affairs from 2008 to 2012. To Indra Sherpatita. I was born. 1983. Lithuanian artist and photographer. Ronaldas Seibutis. I was born. 1985. Lithuanian professional basketball player. Also far. Write comments. Read comments. Interesting people will tell interesting stories. All of good mood and good luck.